What's happening, people? I'm your host, Steve Holmes. You're watching another episode of The Real. Thank you for joining me tonight. Listen, let me tell y'all something. These Tuesdays, oh my gosh, they sneak up on me so fast now. I'm just busy. I'm just way busier than I think I've ever been. But God is able. That's all I can say, because it's been a crazy week for me. But things are great. We got a lot to talk about tonight. We've got some live reaction to the football game on Saturday. We went up to South Carolina State, and we had a pretty interesting show up there. And so I am curious to talk to my buddy Darrell Williams of Hell Wildcats. He will be joining us as well later on in the show. We're going to break down everything. We're going to talk about Saturday, y'all, and we're going to break it down. We're going to get your thoughts. And we're going to try to make sense of it. We're going to hopefully we can be your therapist tonight. I'm hoping that's the case. Because I know we all need it. We all a little stressed out watching our football team kind of do some weird stuff, both good and bad on Saturday. So there's some takeaways and there's some good and some bad and some ugly. So we're going to get to all of it. At any rate, I see y'all kind of coming in. If you there and you are present, you ready to rock, go ahead and tell me what's up in the comments. I love to see y'all kind of getting active in it. Mr. Jackson, one of my faves. How you doing, sir? Good to see you tonight. And yeah, so I don't know. It depends on if we have time tonight. I will I'll open the phone line up, but if we have time. But I do have it set up tonight for us to roll with it. Hey sis, hey Lucretia, how you doing? Good to see you again tonight. So yeah, let's just go ahead and jump right into the thing. Lots to get to. For those of you that are joining for the first time, this is the way I start my show every week, and it's by giving thanks to the people that support our show. And we are ever so thankful to the people who dig into their pocketbooks and their wallets, or their digital wallets, or whatever you want to call it, and they donate to the show. And I'm really thankful of it, because it takes a lot to do what we do. But the good thing is many hands make light work. And whenever people, especially stakeholders of the institution, help to prop up some of the external programs and external platforms for the school, it just makes it all work. But more specifically, I want to thank Theron, who's giving twice in the month of September. I do it month by month, so just so people I can keep track of it. So we are strictly on September monthly contributions. So Theron is given twice, Adrian is given twice. Eric is also, I messed up the graphic. It's a 2 by his name, but that means 2 times. Sorry about that, Eric. Judy, my girl Miss Tundra, Kathy, my sis Lucretia, my brother Gerard, Mr. Vernon, my bro Jock. I thank all of y'all for contributing to the show. Again, every little bit. It doesn't have to be anything big, anything major. Again, every little bit helps our platform, helps us grow. And there's plenty of ways you can support if you're not in a position to where you're able to financially contribute to the show. That's cool. And if you want to do so, down there at the bottom under the graphic, you'll see our Cash App. If you want to become a real MVP and get shouted out on our show weekly, at least for a month, that's how you do so, by just contributing whatever amount the Lord lays on your heart. All right. But the other ways to support that are not financial is, one, making sure you are subscribed to our channels, especially our YouTube channel. We are now at 617 subscribers. We are trying to crawl our way to 1,000. So you help us out by subscribing to the channel. And the second way is also following us on on Instagram, Facebook. We're also on TikTok. Follow our pages, and that's how you stay up to date. That's how you know when we're doing things. And it just really, again, it helps us grow. And then lastly, contributing to the show directly is always a great way that you can help. Let's got my peeps. Let's check out the comments We have my brother Jason. How you doing, bro? Good to see you again tonight. My bro Adrian. He said he was gonna be here, and listen. I believe you. You here every week. You here every week. Terrence, what's good, bro? Good to see you, man. Gerard, let's go. Let's do it. And always love these comments. We'll continue to support. Much appreciated. Listen, I thank y'all so much. All right. So now that we got that out of the way, I'm gonna start tonight on a little bit of a darker note. I know we like to talk about all the good stuff and the positive stuff at school, but we got to talk about some stuff. I'm not gonna spend too much time on this, but I do feel like it's necessary because I've had thoughts, and I'm gonna ask the Lord to bridle my tongue. That's what they say in the church. So that number one, I don't get fired from none of my jobs because the way they letting folk go for just saying anything now about you know who and you know who. Yeah, I ain't trying to get involved in any of that. I got a family and I got mouths to feed. You know what I'm saying? So that being said, I thought it was really unfortunate that there's a situation that had nothing to do with HBCUs, and yet we found ourselves in the middle of heinous acts, and acts of violence that have nothing to do with us. We are not even in the proximity of the crimes that have happened or that happened. It was by a white individual in a white city with a white assailant. And how HBCUs get involved in that, I mean, it just boggles the mind how somebody is so angry about what happened to that individual that they feel like they need to inflict harm or fear to our institutions. And so I just find that so despicable. I find that very off-putting, and seeing Bethune-Cookman get threats. And if y'all remember, this is not the first time. This has happened. This is probably the third time that this has happened. And I feel like it happened after the president had his thing. And so, and I know it happened maybe a time before that, but for whatever reason, our brother and sister institutions are targets, and a lot of the time, not even targets, like punching bags almost, for a certain class of people. And that is just really unfortunate, because HBCUs are literally just be chilling. Like, HBCUs just be vibing. We be in our own little world, talking junk to the next HBCU, minding our business, playing our football games, doing our homecomings, going to our step shows, you know what I'm saying? Going to our sports conferences and going to our, events. We just minding our business. And again, to be put in, to be placed, even in proximity of really heinous crimes has really bothered me. And so I just really wanted to talk about that. I know that a lot of you felt the same way I felt, and my heart dropped when I saw the school and they had, shut down everything. And I think they were one of the first. I feel like, I forget who the first school was, but I know we were, if not first, we were like second. And that, I mean, being in Florida, conservative kind of state, you understand it. But I was genuinely bothered. And I know a lot of you all were too, because number one, if something were to happen, those are our kids. Those are my nephew. I don't know, even know if I told y'all this, my nephew is actually a student there. And so, my wife, the first thing she would is like, have you heard from Trooper? And if, you need to make sure everything is cool with that. And so, I know there are plenty of parents, and we got family and and friends of family that go there to our HBCUs. Like, they're all family. We talk junk and we beat up on each other, but it's all in love. But when stuff like that happens, it's like, okay, all that stuff is pushed way to the side. And I'm up here in Atlanta with what, 3-4 HBCUs, and I know I think 2 of them were threatened. So yeah, it's just unfortunate. I hate it. I didn't mention any of the names of the people involved because honestly, I just don't want to give them the dignity of that. So yeah, take from that what you may. So I wanted to start there because I'm done. I don't want to end the show or nothing like that, but I want to start there because we got some good stories to get to, which we're gonna do now. I'm going to now pivot from that, and let me pump to the comments real quick. Friends, right? My buddy Bree says I'm just here to get paid. That's an inside joke, but we'll see. Good evening, Chantel. That's my sister there. Also, a Golden Honors Committee member, which I'm getting ready to talk to. Also, Chantel, check your email. So yeah, let me get to the Golden Honors. All right, good news. Golden Honors nomination period is over. If y'all have been paying attention, I warned everybody, and I don't know if anybody tried to get in there late on Saturday and tried to do the Golden Honors nominations, but the deadline is passed and we have nominations. We got almost 100 nominations. Can you believe that? So that lets us know that you guys responded really well to the program. And so that made me feel really good. So a couple of things are happening now with respect to the program. We have our nominations. Now the committee is going through each and every application with a fine-tooth comb. All 6 members, they're meeting and converging right now. Not right now, but you know what I'm saying. And they are evaluating the submissions and deciding if they're accurate, they're clear, and making decisions on who will be passed forward to the next stage. And within the next week or so, the nominees who have been moved forward will get you'll be getting an email, so check your email boxes. You'll start to see things early to mid next week, and if you've been selected to not be a Golden Honors, but to fill out an application, because right now we're evaluating the nominees, and then we'll filter those through completed applications, making sure they're thorough, making sure like we can verify stuff and all of that. So we'll do that, and then the next step is once we have our nominees who agree to the terms of the program, who can fulfill whatever obligations come with that, those are the ones that will press forward to the selection process. So still got a ways to go on that, but I hope if there's anybody watching in here that either submitted somebody or maybe you were one that got nominated, I don't know, I hope. But best of luck to everybody. Again, I'm not on the committee. I'm just talking through the program. The committee has been meeting every week for the last month and a half to move this thing along. So, yeah, but kudos to y'all. Thank you. 100 nominations is no small feat, especially considering this is our first year doing this. And I'm telling y'all, it's going to be worth it to the people who get selected. All right. A little more news. Now, I know y'all know who that is. That is the great Dr. Trudy Kibbe Reed. I'm probably like, why are you talking about Dr. Reed? Well, I'm glad you asked. This weekend, which I thought was pretty cool, ended up being a bit of a family reunion, a Cookman family reunion. Claflin University hosted the school this weekend while they were in town for the SC State game, and that is only made possible because we have a I don't know if Dr. Womack went to Bethune, but I know he worked at Bethune for some time, and so he's now the president at Claflin, and they allowed us to come and patronize their campus and kind of hang out there and do a meet and greet and all those things. And Dr. Trudy Kibbe Reed, president emeritus Dr. Reed was in the place, so it was good to see her. Um, I know people have some varying opinions about Dr. Reed's tenure here, but I think it ended up being a net positive. She was especially considering where we've been the last decade. Dr. Reed was okay. She was all right with me. But that said, yeah, it was a great time. And Jason says the president and the AD worked at BCU. Oh, I didn't know that the AD was at BCU too. Okay, I didn't know that. Good to know. So yeah, I thought that was cool to see that, and that we were able to again have a little mini family Cookman family reunion up in SC, and obviously the parallels there with our founder being from South Carolina and playing one of our old foes, South Carolina State. I'm sure it was like old times going back there, seeing probably a lot of old familiar faces, especially from our MEAC days. So I'm sure that was cool. I'm going to ask Daryl Williams about that once he joins us here in a moment to talk about, what, football. And so before I invite my brother on, Daryl, and we're gonna jump into it. I know a lot of y'all are like, what the heck about what you saw on Saturday, and there are some mixed emotions about I think what we saw. Obviously, nobody is happy, and let me tell y'all something. I promise y'all, we would not be doing any moral victories this year. There are no moral victories. I love coach, I love the team, but we cannot afford to be like, yeah, we lost, but we got this and we got that. Now, there are some positives I think we'll be able to extract from the game, but a loss is a loss, which is always the case. But in certain years, you can. So I'm going to invite my brother on, and my man Daryl, how you doing, bro?
Good, Steven. How's it going tonight? Glad to be on the show, man.
Yeah. I'm doing well. I would be doing much better if we didn't start that game the way we started it. That
Most definitely.
I I could not believe what I was watching. I mean, in real time, and I think I was doing something. I think I was working on something, and I had the game kind of playing on my phone. And it was like every time I looked at my phone, we were down another touchdown. I'm just like, what in the world is going on? So I'm gonna ask you, and I'm just gonna give you the floor for a second. What is your general take from what you saw on Saturday?
A team that didn't quit facing a team that was the HBCU national champion runner up, a team in South Carolina State that their athletic director is the former head football coach. He left that football program in great shape when he stepped down and or retired. Chennisberry took over, and that factored in a lot in the first quarter, but the change happened in the second quarter. And I don't want to jump ahead. I know we'll get there, but the main thing that kind of stood out at me, and it kind of goes back to the whole threat thing. Kind of knew we were in trouble when the Whitecap, who's the head official, was not our complexion. And coming off of what we dealt with on Thursday, not able to practice on Thursday, getting on a plane Friday morning, just things were off.
Mm.
Things were off. And uh, we made some mental mistakes, a lot of mental mistakes, a lot of missed assignments that got us deep behind in a football game where you can't afford to do that against the runner-up national champion,
Yeah.
nor someone who competed with South Carolina the week before and lost 38-10 the prior week. So
Yeah, it really it didn't make sense to me what I was watching, and I know that you know stuff happens in football games. For example, like nobody expected DJ Lagway, Florida Gators, to throw five
right,
interceptions
yes,
against, what I'm saying? Like nobody expected it when he woke up, but it happened, right? So again, a lot of things happen, but let's go through like kind of the good. I'll give my good, bad, and ugly, and then I'll let you tell me what your good, bad, and ugly
Okay.
was. The good for me, and some of ours will probably mirror. The good for me was a couple of things. Number one, I love the icy white uniforms.
Yes, indeed.
Chef's
Yes,
kiss,
indeed.
man. I love those uniforms. And no disrespect, but that yellow uniform we have with the little slash, uh, the maroon and white slash, and it's the
Yeah.
yellow jersey, and then they do it with the pants that don't look like they match the jersey, and then it's like a different helmet. It doesn't look like it looks like a full ensemble for a uniform. I always hated it how it looked almost kind of high schoolish. Saturday we
Right.
looked like a collegiate program from a just a look standpoint, and you could tell how different it was.
Definitely.
So they need to do, and obviously I know it's probably a lot of money, and maybe they already got it. We got the white one, we need the maroon one, and we already got the black one. We just need to go ahead and complete the set if they got it, and I'm sure Cookman, we used to run the uniform game,
Yeah.
and then we fell off big time probably the last several years. But yeah,
Right.
man. So that's my good. My bad, defense. My bad was our defense. I'm not sure what happened with them, but we could not stop a nosebleed on Saturday if we tried. We couldn't stop a cold, uh, Swiss cheese, every kind of term you want to use for our defense. We saw it. Now they did tighten up a little bit late, but by then it was kind of too late. Um,
Hmm.
and then the ugly, I would probably say, it's just the defense was bad. The defense was bad. I would say my bad was probably our start, and then the ugly would be the defense. So yeah, what's your good, bad, and ugly?
My good was, of course, the rally back. Um, our guys didn't give up, and that's now in 3 games. They have not given up. As I said earlier, you faced a great South Carolina State football team who, like I said, they were coming off success last year, and they kept it going. I know early on, Chennis Berry was in talks with Bethune-Cookman about being the head coach, but we're not fortunate for that to happen, and happy that we have Coach Woody. This program is really turning around. We still have a ways to go, but we will get there. My bad, as you said, missed assignments.
Mm.
And missed assignments will kill you down the stretch against a good football team, a good to great football team. They will kill you. One of the main things about South Carolina State, there was 15, over 15 grad students on South Carolina State's football team who hail from their 2 quarterbacks. One was from James Madison, one was from Incarnate Word, which are really good teams who, compete for championships every year. So you can't have mistakes against those guys. We have to talk out on the field. Our defense wasn't talking, wasn't communicating. From what I know, um, I know we talked about it could be coaching and things of that nature, but I've heard that it was the ugly is knowing what they're going to do, having seen it on film, and us not doing it.
Yeah.
That's the really ugly part, especially as a coach. That's you know.
Yeah, so let's get into it. In terms of one of the questions that was just asked by Gerard was why wasn't Ransom starting from the beginning? And I'm gonna give. I know you know why, but I'm gonna give you my take. I
Hmm.
think I think Timmy had been showing better
Yes.
early in the season and in camp, and I think we kind of know we kind of know what we're gonna get from Cam Robinson, but Cam Robinson is very he's when he's on like
Yeah.
Saturday in the second half when once he took over, he looked like he could be SWAC player of the year. Like he looked like he could run away with it. But he'll have a game where he'll throw 2 or 3 interceptions and
Yes.
have some really bad plays. And so I think that's what we know about Cam from last year. So that's my theory. You tell me if I'm off base on that.
No, you're not off base at all. I think coming out of the Miami game, Timmy was the guy, and
Mm-hmm.
like Coach Woody said on the film, he moved the ball.
He did.
Um, and in FIU, Cam had some. Cam did start against FIU. We couldn't. We left about 28 points out there on the field against FIU. So you tried another person, and against Miami, which a top five ranked team in the nation,
Yeah.
yeah, you're not just going to do too good. Um, but it's always the next man up, and that's what Cam Ransom was. I think someone had to talk to him uh, prior to that game, prior to coming in, like, hey, Cam, you're not thrown away. We're still going to need you. And when he got in the game, he made it to where he'll be the starting quarterback for at least this next game.
Yeah, yeah, and I think that's what scares me because don't get me wrong, Timmy, critical mistakes like
Right.
critical mistakes at a point in the game where it didn't necessarily have to get out of hand. You could have been okay that, and it was really that fumble on the 1 yard line. I think that was the one that like it blew the game wide open. If South Carolina State doesn't have a 21-point first half of the first quarter, then I think that game ends way differently. And I think we could even win the game. Again, that's me sounding like I'm talking moral victory. I said I wouldn't do that. But I'm just saying, like, especially with
It's
how we turned it on. But, sometimes that's just you don't want to get embarrassed, and so guys kind of lock back in. So I don't. It's hard to know how much of what we saw in the fourth quarter and even some of the third, like how much of that is truth, and how much of that is just you know,
luck.
yeah,
I hate to say it like that. None of it.
okay,
None of it.
okay, and you were there, so I mean, you saw it live.
You were still playing the same South Carolina State team who put up those points in the first half.
Yeah,
You went into halftime. Well, we started to peak a little bit before halftime. We even got the ball back right before half to where we could have possibly put more points on the board. We're getting the ball back in the second half. That didn't happen.
yep,
But, we come out and we do everything we need to do. They didn't give up. No one on offense panicked. We started doing RPO things to them, and they could not stop it, no matter what. Even so, to where one of their players got a personal foul over on the sideline by slamming one of our
mm.
players. He was not kicked out of the game by the referees. He was kicked out by Coach Berry, sent
Oh
into the
wow,
locker room, to the
wow,
shower. So, you know, that frustration started to set in, and our guys just kept on believing. Our guys uh, just continued to fight. I would venture to say that, this offensive team is something very special. This whole team could be something very special. We just have to lock in on the fundamentals and details and not let someone get out
yeah.
ahead of you early.
Yes, Sidney Brown says Raymond Woody does not have the ear and the pulse of the players. What do you say to that? I know you're close to the
I,
team.
I, I, unfortunately, I don't agree with that. If you don't have the ear, you don't rally back and lose by 14. And I know we're talking no moral victory, but if
Yep,
you don't have the ear, everybody packs it in.
I agree. I agree.
You know,
And here's what I wanted to. I needed everybody to just take a step back
yes,
because I want everybody to understand something. Like, no, we don't want to start 0-4, 0-3, or whatever it is. I suspect we'll against Edward Waters, especially with the way we started and ended Saturday. So I suspect we'll be a little bit better prepared Saturday. But guess what? Celebration Bowl is still within reach. The SWAC East is still in reach. And so I think a lot of people tend to look at the schedule in the first, and this is every year, right? This is just the composition of our schedule. It it causes us to panic. Now, to be fair, like the panic has been warranted the last 4 or 5 years. Especially when you're starting 0 and whatever. We're 0 and 3 again. I think we've been 0 and 3 now for how many straight years? Like it's like we're used to it now. We know we just gonna check off the first 3 games. It's been like 4 or 5 years now. We've started 0 and 3 at least, and so the big picture is that these games, they don't matter. These games do not matter in the grand scheme of it. If we start to gel next week and we start to gel entering SWAC play 2 weeks from now, the whole narrative on the program will change really fast. And there's one dog right now in the entire SWAC, and that's probably Jackson State. Everybody else, I'm just saying, like there's room for us to make some noise. Again, we got to do it. We haven't been able to do it, but I saw a lot of hand wringing online and firewoody stuff, and I don't think we're quite at that point yet.
No, I would highly agree with you that we're definitely not at that point. Um, there's a lot of football to be played, as you said. To start this season out, with the three teams we start the season out with, you know, uh, FIU didn't get like manhandled by Penn State the next week after we played them.
Yeah.
And Miami is just rolling up. Miami put up 49 points against, you know,
USF.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, man,
We played
there's
good teams.
yes.
We played not
Yes,
even
you
good
can.
teams. We played some top teams.
Yes.
Uh,
Yes.
and I think people just they see the score. I even saw people like get frustrated at the score after the Miami game. What do you think? What do you think this is? Like, who do you think we are as a football program? We were never going to compete in that game. And I hate talking like that, but it's just the truth. We just do not have the facilities. We don't got the bank. We don't
No.
have the recruiting apparatus that any team in the FCS has, or excuse me,
No.
FBS has. We just don't have it, and so we got to do it how we can do it at our level, and not be so whatever about what happens in games we ain't supposed to win.
Yeah. It clearly, to have a great program, starts before Saturday.
Yes.
It starts, and we always go back. It's the nutrition. It's, how are our guys eating? A lot of teams that we face, when you just look at them, the eye test that we call it,
Yep.
they're bigger than us. They're bigger than us, and we attribute that to, okay, well, they're eating better than us.
Yep.
How do we counteract that? Well, supplements. And we're struggling to get supplements. It's
It's a lot to think
that
about.
matters.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
matters.
It
Yeah,
does.
it
It
matters.
does. And so I wanted to kind of dig into the numbers, and this will show you that Bethune-Cookman football was right there the whole time when you I know if you watched the game it didn't feel that way, especially early on, but I want y'all to see something. Let's look at the numbers, right? Now let's just go through this. We get we we lose by 2 touchdowns. We were down 27-7 at one point. They hung 55 on us, right? And we got one more first down, 50 less yards essentially. Passing yards, you can call that a tie, a push, or whatever. Rushing yards, they jumped up about what 40 on us, or yeah. And then the penalties. I mean, 19 more yards in penalties, and The issue is the turnovers, right? The fumble on the 1 yard line, Timmy's
Yeah, fumble,
uh
scoop, and score.
yeah, and then yeah,
Yeah.
so like that's the game. That's the three scores right there. That's three scores right there. Those three turnovers, and that's the ball game. And
We
they beat
lose
us.
by 14.
Yeah, and you lose by 14. Like, come on, like that is just you. If you look at this, this is what you can take away, and I'm sure the coaches are pointing to the team and saying, "Look, we are right there. If we don't make mistakes, if we don't beat ourselves, if we don't have timely turnovers, guys, we got a good football team, and we see what we can do when we lock in." And that fourth quarter, they were locked the you know what in. I'm not gonna curse because I got a bet a wager going on with my buddy that if I said curse word, I got to give him $2.
Oh man.
And if I don't say a curse word, he got to pay the show $5. So we gonna get $5, y'all. I just hope y'all know that. So that's my
I
bro Breon.
your boy Terrence over in the comments, boys, preaching gospel,
Uh
but
oh.
I, you know,
Let me see what he's saying. Where we at? Oh,
I gotta,
listen. I'm not scared of it. Listen, he said, "I bet the basketball team have everything they need." Um, yeah, I'm not gonna touch that either. I'm not gonna touch that either. I'm gonna leave that be. I'm gonna leave that be.
To that point, as I was saying earlier, with it's a similar scenario with Buddy Pugh being the interim athletic director at South Carolina State. What do you think the football program is lacking? As long as he coached the championships he's won,
Yeah,
he knows everything a team needs. And
yeah,
so you got to have that support. And when you got that support,
yeah. And so we can. I shouldn't be doing this, but I'm gonna do it. We can apply that to our basketball team because all I know is we got the Avengers playing for Cookman basketball next year. How does that happen? I don't know. I guess guys just want to come play. We got the basketball facilities and we got all the buttons and bells and whistles, I guess. But I think that because again our AD is over the and let me say this. An AD that is also over the program he or she coaches, I don't know that any of us would probably be doing it any different because you want your program to stand out. Like you
for
want your,
sure.
your team. So I'm not saying like it's the worst thing in the world, but to me, like you should want your football team to have everything it needs. Number one, because that is your money maker. Like that's what is
Yes.
funding all the stuff that you can do. Our basketball team ain't making no bread. Not like that.
Nah. People don't travel out of town too much
No.
to watch basketball.
No, and I love
I've seen you
basketball.
come
Yeah.
from Atlanta at the stadium for football games.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So,
Yeah.
so, so, yeah. I think that's just something that, and again, this whole discussion. This part is anecdotal. The football team compared to the basketball team could have everything they need in comparison to each other. I don't know. I'm not on campus, so I don't want nobody saying Steve said the basketball team got more than the football team. I ain't saying that at all. Y'all not gonna get me in trouble. I'm just saying that somebody in the comments said that the football team don't got everything they need compared to the basketball team.
We were supposed to have new uniforms last year,
Mm,
and I'll just leave it there.
okay. All right.
So,
All right. We are going to leave that right there. Um so yeah, I mean back to like the numbers.
yes.
Um I we were right there. Hold on, let's check some comments too. Let's do that real quick. Coach Rowland says the football team has more than enough of what they need. I would agree with you on the simple point that we we've done more with less over the years. And so we got a big fancy, workout gym and new field, and obviously in comparison to other teams, like we're just getting caught up. But at the same time, I remember and Coach Rowland, when you were there, y'all was in the portable, on the side of the football field. I think that was when you was there as well, Daryl. Like, so, and maybe you agree and disagree. I'm just saying I know we've had less and have been better. So
Yeah, but I agree with Travis to a point, and to that point is everybody was equal in what they had in HBCU football until this NIL period.
this is true. This is true. This is true.
And that's changed the game so much. And, uh, currently, other than outside of really the 1923 society, there's no NIL for football.
So, great point. What is the 1923 Society? Because maybe there are people watching that don't know what that is and what it does for our athletics.
It's a NIL collective ran by the Hell Wildcats Gridiron Club. It's made up of fans and donors and people who, we're trying to. You have to do something to get something, of course, but we're trying to help players and, help them kind of offset those needs that, typically aren't all the way covered in your scholarship monies.
So, what I would love if you have a website, can you drop it in the comments so people know how to find it? And I don't know, again, I don't know all of the regulation, which I know is still the kind of wild wild west with NIL. But if you could put in there, just so people know, like we're not helpless in the situation from a financial standpoint. Like, we are not helpless. Like, we can help
Right.
ourselves as alumni and doing what we can to help offset the things that the team doesn't have. And so we do that through a collective. And in this case, our collective is the 1923 Society, which they represent specifically our football team. So if there's
Right.
anybody watching that got an extra $2 or $3 million laying around somewhere,
Man.
reach out to Daryl and just send it in his cash out. Like, I'm pretty sure, they ain't gonna, they're not gonna flag a $3 million cash out.
Well, let's discuss it before then. But
Yeah.
no, we love to, man. We do also have the Hail Maroon and Gold that the school has, but like I said, that hasn't made it to the football team as of yet. Um, and don't get me wrong, I understand what Travis is saying. A coach, he understands the whole thing. I know NIL is big in Georgia, even in high school football. But when other schools have that and are pushing that, and their fans and the supporters are behind that, you there's extra things that go behind that. So like if I'm getting NIL, I can pay possibly to go to some extra training that I don't get with the regular football team. Those things, pay dividends. They pay great dividends. I can go eat more than, you know Jackson State is really capitalizing in HBCU in their NIL.
Yeah, and there are economics that I think play a really big part in NIL, and I think it's fair to acknowledge that because of Jackson State's geographical location, and because they are housed in Jackson, Mississippi, where there's nothing else competing with Jackson State. There's nothing else in Jackson State. I mean, in Jackson, Mississippi, but Jackson State. I mean, from a
Right.
sporting standpoint. So the people that go to that school, right, they get to come back and they get to go and patronize the game, but they also get to tap into the locals who just happen to be black people. I think it's one of the, like, densely populated African American cities like in all of Americas is Jackson, Mississippi. And
Very
so
much.
they get the strength of the base of people that are there. Bethune-Cookman, we are literally in an exact opposite scenario. We've got to compete with not just the pro teams, but you still got, you got to compete with the Magic in Orlando. You got Jacksonville. You got the beach. You got NASCAR. And so there's not a large base of people in Daytona who are just going to come watch Bethune-Cookman on a random Saturday. Why? Because I think there's other things that draw their attention away from our program. So that makes it even more important for us to like support the program because we don't get the benefit of local business. Most of our business is alumni and students. That's it.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So let me do this. I'm going to attempt to see if we can get some calls. Y'all give me a second. Let me get it set up real quick, and I'll be right back after this. All right, we are back. That is the start of our real hotline. Brought to you by Sky Confections. I'm sorry I didn't have my spiel there. My wife's gonna choke me when she hear this. So if you want to call into the show and talk some football or whatever, feel free to do so. 404-567-6536. If you got any thoughts on the football team, if you got any thoughts you want to talk about the school, I know some of y'all are. I know the comments are kind of lit right now. And I'm glad. Let me tell y'all something. If nothing else drives me, it's this. I just don't understand why people, want to keep talking to Ed Reed. We're getting the call, so let's see if we can. Carla, you on the reel with Steve? What's?
Hello. It's just I just don't understand why people want to keep talking to Ed Reed. We're getting the call, so let's see if we can. Call you on the reel with Steve. What's there?
Make sure you turn your thing down.
It's just I just don't understand why people want to keep talking to Ed Reed. We're getting the call, so let's see if we can. Call you on the reel with Steve. Make sure you turn your thing down.
All right, I think we got some technical issues there. I had to hang up. If you want to call back, make sure when you call in to make sure you have the show turned down. But to your point, and could y'all hear the caller in the? Did y'all hear him? Okay, I don't know if y'all heard him. Like I could hear him, but I think it's calling back now. So let's try it again. All right, caller, you back?
Hello, how you doing, Steve?
How you doing? I can still hear me talking in the background. Can you turn it down?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes, sir. There we go.
Okay. Yeah, this Vernon Jackson, Palm Beach. Hey, Darryl, how you doing?
Oh, what's up, my man?
Good, Vernon. Glad to hear from you, man.
I believe, seeing that our team started out with rough schedule, to me they're looking good. To play a team like South Carolina and score the amount of points they scored, I believe our team is going to be a turnaround season for them.
I think so too. I think there's a bit of optimism by what we saw on Saturday because we just hadn't seen that kind of explosion from an offense in a long time. And so the fact that we saw the team literally explode, it was 40 something. I don't know what the score. It was 41-7, I think, in the third quarter, or some crazy number, and we ended up scoring 40. We ended up scoring 41 points, but we gave up 55. So I agree. There's still a lot to consider with the team, and there's still a lot to be patient about. And just know we come out Saturday, do what we got to do, and the entire season is in front of us still. December in Atlanta is still in front of us.
still in front of us. And I'm looking forward to coming to the first home game this Saturday and spending time with Daryl and the Gridiron gang at the tailgate. It's just, it's excitement in the air.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So yeah, I have to see it when I'm down there. I won't be down there this weekend, but it'll definitely be good at some point to catch up with you live. So thank you for calling.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Have a nice evening. Now, Hail Wildcats.
Hell Wildcats. Yeah, so that's good. There's still some optimism. There's still some people that I think feel really good about it. And let's see who we got here. You on the real? What's your name?
Hey, good afternoon, gentlemen. This is Terrence.
Oh, what's up, Terrence?
Hey, man, from my view, it's just me now.
Okay.
I think it's just systemic. We have had true leadership at the top of the university that trickled down to the athletic department and other things. I'm hoping with our new president, we can demand some type of leadership, not only in athletics, but throughout the university in general, which demands the athletic director who's going to demand more of the coaching staffs of all sports in general. I mean, some stuff we do on the national scene, I mean, we can't even get the little simple stuff right sometimes, and that reflects upon us as alumni and supporters of the university. We just want to get the little simple stuff right. We want to get rid of that little podium that goes around at every time we have a show or something. We drag this little podium around. We can't even get everybody on the podium. Little stuff like that is embarrassing. So I'm hoping with the new leadership, all this stuff will turn around. Wood is my classmate, and I believe in him. I trust him. We don't look as bad as, we have in the past. So let's just see how this season goes. This year is going to tell a lot. And also, SWAC play is going to tell a lot. So let's not give up on the program. Let's not give up on the coaching staff. You know what I'm saying? Let's believe. And I believe that we're a much better team than we have in the past until you show otherwise. And that's my comment.
Thank you for that, Terrence. And I agree wholeheartedly, man. So thank you for that. Thank you for that. I tend to agree, especially with the leadership changes and those things. And what I will say is, from my own sources, and at some point I'll expound on that, but from my own sources, I do know that the institution is striving to put its best foot forward every single day. And that's been the case since, we've had our new president in place, Dr. Mosley, and he's installed his cabinet and all that stuff. You can start to see things trickle down from the top. And again, he's been on the job for a couple of months, and there's a lot still left to be done. All right, we getting one more call. Let's see what we got. What's up, caller? You on the real?
How you doing, Brother Steve? How you doing, man? This Brother Darius, man.
Yo, what's up? What's up, Brother Darius? How you doing, man?
Man, I'm doing all right, brother. I just always want to come in and say thank you again just for always highlighting Bethune-Cookman in such a good spotlight and things of that nature, man. And, I'm just sitting back just listening. And I know you say that the season is still bright for you guys, right?
Yeah.
And so my question is, though, is that even let's just hypothetically say you don't win the SWAC East, right?
Mm-hmm.
Does 5 games still make a good season? Because in my opinion, I feel like that's a good season, right? I feel like if you come away with the season with 5 wins, because I think Southern is on a downhill right now.
They are.
So I think you beat Southern.
Yep.
I think you beat Grambling. I think you beat Valley. I think you beat UAPB.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I think you beat FAM this year. I think we got the 5 wins locked in because FAMU is not really looking too good either, right?
Yeah.
Are I'm still a little shaky with Edward Waters for this Saturday. The only reason why is because they are rocking and rolling. And I know they D2, but they're really rocking and rolling. They've been putting up 40-plus points these last 3 weeks. They just beat Virginia Union, which was the ranked, I think, number 13 team out of all of D2. So they coming in rocking and rolling, coming in hot. But, hey, if you beat Edward Waters, now you got 6 games on the season. So I think this is a good trajectory in the right direction, right? But if you don't beat Edward Waters and like you start with, and then now you're 0-4, I still don't think it's time to have the whole, let's look for a new coach, or let's fire Coach Woody, things that nature, because you still got these other games ahead that can still actually have you have a good season, right?
Yeah.
So that's my thing, right? Now I will also say this too as well, and I've seen it at some other schools, and this is what Brother Darrell had said to us earlier about having Coach Buddy Pugh at South Carolina State as the overall overseer for the football program, right? Whether he be the athletic director or something along that nature. Mm-hmm. I know at North Carolina A&T, they have Coach Rod Broadway, who won the Celebration Bowl with them. He's now a consultant over the program right now with new head coach. So I think maybe in the off season, if we could bring Coach Alvin Wyatt back to be some kind of consultant or whatnot, and maybe he is, I don't know.
Yeah, I think he's
back.
But
I think having him there.
Yeah, he's fundraising.
Say that again?
I was gonna say, I think Coach Wyatt he's been back. I feel like he came. Was it last year? Or was it this year? I know he's back.
It was last year.
Last year, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I just didn't know if we had him on some type of like board of council or whatnot, man, and maybe he could kind of like
he's around,
guide Coach Woody and things of nature. You know what I'm saying?
He's
you know
around,
what I mean? Because he's a championship type of guy. But like I said, hey man, those are just my thoughts. You know, I mean, I don't know if you have any questions for me at all, but yeah, that's all I had to say about that, though.
Yeah, I appreciate you, bro. Thank you for that call, bro.
All right, no problem.
Yeah. So to his point, number one, Coach Wyatt is around. He is present with the program, and I do know that I can't remember if it was last year or this year, but they brought back a lot of those guys from the championship teams, and they were speaking to them. Because I remember Mathis, it came, I think it was Mathis. I feel like, I don't know if Coach Rowland was there or whoever, but I know there was a bunch of players from that championship window we had that came back at one point. I know Coach Wyatt and all those guys was speaking life into the guys because, number one, they need it. And they need to know that they're a part of, like, championship pedigree. And I'm going to cut the phone line, guys, because we're coming up on time. So thank y'all for calling. But yeah, we're championship pedigree from a football standpoint, and so it's just, you know, we have people around. So before you go, Darrell, what are your thoughts on Saturday?
I want to say this, and you know, we had a Spaces call on Sunday night. Mm-hmm. I expect Coach Jenkins to win at Edward Waters, and it's not to knock D2. I mean, he's been a head coach on the 1AA level. His offensive coordinator is Dooley, who was a head coach of a Division 1AA team. The quarterback, Noah Bodden, is also, he was at Grambling, he's at Southern. Against that competition, you better win. Because if you're not winning with those coaches at that level, they're never going to get a 1AA job again.
Yeah.
But you're coming to play some competition. Yes, and we could say, okay, let's look at Albany State and let's look at FAMU.
Also,
we flip those roles.
Yeah. Also, I do want to pump the brakes on what's the coach? I'm sorry, I just drew a blank.
Brian Jenkins.
I want to pump the brakes on him a little bit because if y'all remember, he went to Alabama State, and he stunk it up. I mean, he stunk it up. Now, it was very uncharacteristic, but he got fired from that job because
during the season.
yeah, middle of the season, I think they started like 1-6, 1-7. Like they were terrible, and I don't think he had a winning season there. I don't think. So I know people are. I keep seeing the meme with the Wolverine, and he's looking at the old picture of Coach Woody laying in the bed, like reminiscing and stuff. But two things, right? Two things can be true. We had a good run with Brian Jenkins, and he put us on the map. But also, that time with Jenkins came to an end. And it came to an end for a litany of reasons. Some of the stuff that will probably never, ever be public. But just know, y'all, just know that Brian Jenkins was no longer the coach at Bethune because some stuff happened. I almost slipped up and said a curse rate right there. So I'm getting closer to my $5. But anyway,
money, man.
Yeah, hey, I'm just saying. But yes, so that's the point. So, yeah, I think. What you got? What you got?
Nah, it's just, you know, he's going to have those guys fired up, but our guys are going to be fired up too.
Yeah.
We're no slappies. I mean, you know.
And it feels like they unlocked a cheat code in the fourth quarter. It was just like, not even the fourth quarter, in the third quarter, it feels like they figured something out. They woke up and they're just like, oh, we can move the ball. Like,
right.
We can play offense. Like, that's what it felt like happened on a snap. So I don't know.
I feel good about Saturday. It's great to see Coach Jenkins. It's great to have Edward Waters coming to us, but
yeah,
we got some guys ready to play football. Our coaches are ready. The first half was an embarrassment to them, and I know this staff will get it fixed. I mean, they showed you in game that they can fix it. It's just when you get too far behind, it's hard to come from behind.
Yeah, because then at that point you panic play calling, you panic playing, the players are doing uncharacteristic, so it just compounds and compounds. Well, listen, Daryl, man, I appreciate you as always for coming in and helping us make sense of these things. You're helping. You're like our therapist when it comes to Bethune-Cookman football.
I need one too sometimes.
The therapist needs a therapist. That's what they say, right?
Definitely.
So yeah, before you go, man, go ahead and shout out your platform and your show so people know that they can tune into you as well.
We'd love to have you attend the Hale Wildcats Gridiron Show this Thursday night from 7:30 to about 9:45. We're live from Urban Soul, Daiquiris, and Wings, 601 Main Street. Come on down. Great New Orleans food. We're talking Wildcat football. If you can't make it down, tune in to us on Facebook and YouTube. We'd love to have you. That's the Hale Wildcats Gridiron Show. And we're very thankful for our sponsor, Alpha One Staffing, and all they do over there. And definitely the Av, man. You're the guy. You're our guy, man. We appreciate you, and thanks for definitely having us on and allowing us to be a part of your platform.
Yes, sir. I tell anyone who listens that I only have this idea because I watched Hale Wildcats. I watched y'all, and I'm like, I need to do this, or somebody needs to do this for like general news. Now, I know I stole some of your thunder tonight because we just talked football, but obviously, the gist of our show is talking all things Bethune-Cookman. Nonetheless, man, I appreciate you for giving me your time, and again helping us kind of talk through this season. I know we'll do this again at some point, and I appreciate you, brother.
Thank you, sir. And now you can just pass the offering plate around because what Jason Gatlin just said in the comments is exactly what we're talking about.
This comment here? Or
yes, sir.
Yeah. So Jason says everyone is measuring Woody's success by the on-field product, but not looking at what's taking place off the field, which is a very salient point because our program was in shambles. And I know, and let me make this last point, but before we dip out, I know people are ready to throw in the towel with Coach Woody. But here's why I'm going to tell you, I think personally he deserves a little bit of grace. Here's why. When you know who took us through that situation 2 years ago, we didn't have a coach for, it was January or February, and we didn't have a head coach. And no coach would take a job at the hour that Coach Woody said, you know what, I need to go back. They need me. This is a perfect opportunity for me to come back to my alma mater, and help dig the program out of this situation. And so we almost owe him a little bit of gratitude, because if Coach Woody hadn't taken the job when he did, who knows, right? Who knows? He didn't, again, this is his third year. His first year, he didn't even get to recruit. What he did was not real recruiting. That's not recruiting. That's going over and scooping out stuff at the bottom of the barrel and saying, okay, I'll try to cook with scraps. That's what he did his first year. And so last year, we still didn't put it together, but he had one full off season of recruiting. Now this year he's got his second full off season for recruiting. And so it takes longer than that to build a team, y'all. A program. It takes a long time. Now I admit we're tired of losing, and fair or not, I know coach is gonna have a short leash. But I think we owe him a little bit of grace, because he took a job that I don't think anybody would have taken at a point in time when the school was. I mean, the program wasn't in shambles, baby. The institution was in shambles. You know what I'm saying? So, all right, I'm gonna leave that there. Daryl, appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you. God bless, man.
All right,
Hail
bro.
Wildcats.
Hail Wildcats. That was fun, right? That was fun. So before I go, a couple of things. We're rolling on Golden Honor stuff. You'll be seeing some correspondence come from that to the people who nominated or have been nominated. And I think that's pretty much all we got. We are also looking. There will be a formal announcement. I'm sorry, y'all. I got two more announcements. The first announcement is the Golden Honors will be looking for sponsors, title sponsors, program sponsors, commercial sponsors for the program. If you have a business or an entity and you would like to partner with our program and sponsor some portion of that, feel free to reach out to me. We are trying to put together our sponsorship packet as we speak. It's my fault, y'all. We're a little behind it, so that's on me. Secondly, I need a social media manager. I need a social media, I need somebody that know what they're doing. It's a little bit of a job. I might be able to give you a little something on the side, but I need somebody to help me with social media, because some things are getting ready to happen with our platform, and I need to delegate some of the duties that I do day to day with the program. And I'm looking for a show producer, somebody that can help me put this show together every single week, help me hunt for stories, help me make graphics, help me interview people, help me find guests. If you are interested, just shoot me a DM, shoot me an email, and we'll see if it works. In the meantime, I think I'm done. Breon Glenn, you owe me $5. I didn't curse tonight, so there's that. Lastly, there's nothing else. I think that's all I got. I appreciate y'all. We're gonna do the same thing again next week, same time. Actually, I think I'm lying. There's either no show next week or the show following. I'll let y'all know in due time. It's just Tuesday this week. I love y'all. Hail Wildcats. See y'all next week. Peace.